Oh boy, hello there. Today is Thursday, June 4th, 2026, and I hope you're prepared for another fantabulous stream. I hope you're prepared because I'm not prepared. Anyway, Henna is already in the chat room saying hi. I am here first. I love that she's always here. I do love it. I mean, she's not always here, but she's here more than she's not here. And I do love it. I love it. I love it. Now, just if my other friends could show up, that would be great too. But who am I kidding? I don't have any friends. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody is ready for the weekend because, as I like to say, the pre-ken is already well underway. The pre-ken, in case you, I'm going to make this a thing. If it's the last thing I do in my life, there's like two things I want to create. There's like two legacies I want to leave in my life. Or like, there's two things that I want to be part of the culture that I want to be responsible for. The first is the pre-ken, although I can't really take credit for that, but I can take credit for making it as popular as it is. The pre-ken, right? Which, of course, as I always say, begins at Thursday at lunchtime. Thursday at noon is when the pre-ken begins. And now we are in the pre-ken, and the weekend, of course, begins tomorrow at lunchtime. Although it's summer, you could kind of argue that the pre-ken begins Thursday at the end of work. But, you know, that is a finer point that pre-ken scholars at a later date will debate probably long after I'm dead. So that's the first thing, that the first legacy I want to leave. And then the second legacy that I want to leave, we have Santa Claus who brings gifts for Christmas. We have the Tooth Fairy who brings money when you lose a tooth. We have the Easter Bunny who brings candy. But if you think about on the echelon of holidays and special occasions for children, like Christmas is up there, right? Because Christmas it's like a magical time of year where you can ask for whatever you want and you get it, usually, right? So Christmas is up there, but then I would say the Easter is like doesn't even like no, and the Tooth Fairy like no, like I mean sure, like yeah, you get some candy and maybe you get a couple dollars for a tooth or whatever. Like what's the inflation on a tooth these days? How much do you leave? Like $100 or something? I don't know, but they don't compete with Christmas. But there is one special day that does compete with Christmas, and that, of course, is a birthday, right? Because a birthday, in some ways, it's even better than Christmas, because with Christmas, everybody gets presents. Everybody is celebrating. Everybody is spoiled. But on a birthday, that is your special day, unless you're unlucky enough to have a twin. But that is your special day. So a few years ago, like when my sister on my mom's side, when my sister started having kids, I gave them a gift before, like I had a falling out with my sister or whatever. But I would gift her kids something, and I would always write from the birthday gnome. The birthday, like there's a birth. So I want to make the birthday gnome a thing, right? Like you better behave or the birthday gnome won't bring you presents, right? I'm going to talk to the birthday gnome, and the birthday gnome's not going to bring you any gifts this year if you don't be. So that's what I want. I want parents everywhere to be threatening their kids to behave well, or else the birthday gnome is not going to give them any decent presents. So hopefully that will be my legacy. Actually, a few years ago, I did I'm going to put this in quotes, birthday gnome. All right, so that's not quite the same thing. Like that's a gnome that you give on your birthday, but stop the birthday gnome royalty-free images. So again, this is just, oh, wait a minute. This is a lot more results than I got like 2 or 3 years ago when I did this search. Wait, birthday gnome. Okay. Okay, I'm going to ask AI about this. Let's ask Gemini, since Gemini is all up on everything. Have you ever... Wait, what is this? Close that. I don't need people knowing my secrets. Have you ever heard of the birthday gnome? If I could spell birthday right. Birthday gnome. A gnome who brings children presents on their birthday. Let's see if AI has ever heard of the birthday gnome. I have. Wait, what? What? While he might not have massive global PR team like Santa Claus, the birthday gnome, sometimes called the birthday elf or the birthday pixie, is a beloved tradition in many households. Wait a minute. Where did this originate? Wait, I'm going to have to, there's got to be a lawsuit or something here. Okay, the tradition of the birthday gnome is a modern mashup of two distinct origins, okay? Ancient European folklore and 20th century Waldorf education. What the hell is Waldorf education? An Austrian philosopher named Rudolf Steiner founded Waldorf education. Waldorf schools put a massive emphasis on imaginative play, nature, and preservation of childhood wonder. To teach young children about the nature of changing seasons without making everything clinical or dry, Waldorf educators have heavily... Oh, my God. Okay, I don't want to read this anymore. No, this is not my birthday gnome. No, is this guy... Okay, I'm assuming Rudolf Steiner is dead, which he probably... if he stole my birthday gnome, then... okay, Rudolf Steiner, he died in 1925, so he's been dead for a while. I still think he stole the idea from me. I'm going, no. Wait a minute. No, this is, okay. Find me any references to the birthday gnome. Now I'm pissed off. Now we're just taking a detour because now I'm angry. Okay. Waldorf, no. I want links, bitch. Give me receipts, okay? I want links. The birthday gnome countdown calendar. The gnome advent. Wait, there's a gnome advent calendar for your birthday? No, there is not. No. What is this bullshit? Handcrafted? No. That's like some Christmas crap. I don't want Christmas crap. I want birthday crap. All right, no, we're going to pretend this never happened. I invented the birthday gnome, okay? Oh, God. Oh, boy. You don't have Steiner schools in the U.S.? Always thought they are international. I've never heard of this guy. Never heard of him. Of course you have them in your weird European country. Of course you have them. It's probably where they teach you things like Celsius and communism. Like, no, we don't have any of that here. Here, we teach Fahrenheit and freedom, okay? So none of this Steiner school nonsense here in the good old US of A. Oh, God. Something went down the wrong pipe there. I don't know what happened there. All right, so what are we going to work on today? So I think we're going to do a change of pace because there is something that okay, first I want to do this. There's something I need to do for work, right? But I'm going to do it on stream, and I wanted it to be a group effort, which is why I was asking earlier, like if Matthew is going to be here or if anybody else, because I'm going to get free labor from people. And to help me do my job. So I might as well. But since Hannah is the only one here, at least the only one that's talking, I'll get her help on it. All right, so how are we going to do this? All right, easy. No. Wait a minute. Okay, we can bring this back. We want the Muon cam. Muon, nobody, you can't really see that Muon here. Muon. There's Muon. There he is. Oh, there he is. Well, I don't know that really improved the view any, but there he is. Muon. Of course, now, today, he's like right next to the blankets and everything. Anyway, okay, so how are we going to do this? So I'm going to wait a few minutes. I'm going to wait for Matthew to get here. Matthew said he'd be here. I want to see if Flava Pop joins or if Matthew joins. Basically, Hannah, what I'm getting at is I want to see if a man joins, right? Because we like, this is man talk, right? Like the men need to talk. So we need to, I need to wait for the men to show up. Henna says, sounds logic. Get Henna to help with coding work. Yes. No. That's why I said I need the men to show up. All right. So let's just wait. Let's wait for the men and then the men will take care of it. You just go about, just continue doing your woman stuff, like watching HGTV and, whatever. Okay. Like spending money that you don't have and like things that women do. All right. So Sorry, was that sexist? I think that might have been a little sexist. I apologize. Did I send the link out? I sent the link out to a few people. I think I sent it to most people. Did I? Let me see. I sent it to Nick and Choke and Robbie and Gators and Lisa. I sent it to Razman, the Singleton man. I sent the link to Henna too. So, and hopefully she'll join. But all right. What do we want to do while we wait for the boys to show up? Why don't we go ahead and, like, this town looks kind of pathetic. Like, I kind of like this little town over here. I'm going to put the mouse highlighter up. No, not that. I don't know what that is. No, not that. This is what I want. All right. I like this little section over here on the left-hand side, but we need to, like, it needs to connect, and, like, we need to build it up a little bit, right? Like, this needs to make sense. Right now, it just doesn't make sense as a little town. And this isn't, St. Abilene is going to be, it's not just a tiny little town. It's a decently sized town is what I would say. It probably has... So I spent, and Hannah knows this, I spent some time in a little town called Hausawa. No, not Hausawa. No, Kanus. I'm getting my Finnish towns confused. I spent like a week in a little town called Kanus in Finland, and I kind of picture this town being like the same size. What is the population of Kanus? I picked Kanus to stay in because I was staying in northern Finland. Oh, okay, that's in Lithuania. No. I picked it because it had the word anus in it, so that's why I picked it. Wait, it keeps telling me, no, okay, maybe it's Kanus because the Finns, they love to have double letters. Yes, no, it's KNN. Okay, so it doesn't quite have the word anus in it, but it's close enough. 5,246 people. And it had like 2 grocery stores, 1 convenience store, like 3 bars, several like not quite fast food restaurants, but like places to eat that served you food fast. It had a Chinese restaurant. Like, I mean, it had everything you want in a little town. So so what did it say? It said 5,246 people. So about 5,000 people. And so maybe St. Abilene's not that big. I don't know. But yeah, it was a cute little town. Let's see. I stayed right by the train. So there's the train. The house I stayed at was literally right here. Let me see. Let's do this view. Oh, the memories. Let's see. Wait a minute. Where was it? I think it might have been that building. Like, cause you could walk from the platform across this. Now this all looks new to me because when I was there, it was covered in snow. But basically, yeah, you walk down and then it was like right here in this building is where I stayed. I think that sounds right. Let me see. Okay, yeah, we get a street view. No. Okay, that doesn't look right. That wasn't it. Was it down here? Now I really want to know. Where did my house go? Where did my apartment disappeared? There it is. No, that's the building, but it was down. Wait a minute. This isn't how I remember it. This is not. Oh, it was back here. Okay, I can't go back there. Okay, so it was right behind. Yeah, it was like back. It like you can kind of. Let's see if we can get around this goddamn tree. Get out of the way. Okay, wait a minute. No. Goddamn tree. It was like right back there. The tree's blocking it. God dang it. All right, apparently. Okay, wait, no, not that. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ, Finland. Okay, well, you can't see it. If I could erase this tree, it's like right back there behind that building. I remember that building, and I remember good old Kanus. But I've always been picturing like St. Abilene, like the size of Kanus in terms of like the amount of stores and restaurants and people. Kind of like a similar size. So maybe if we look at Kanus, okay, let's go. Oh wait, no, we're right here. All right, easy. I mean, that looks pretty big actually. That looks like a lot bigger than I was thinking. Maybe I need to rethink this whole programming thing. I know I might not be cut out for it. I don't know. Anyway. Let's just do some nice relaxing terraforming. Not terraforming. We're going to do some nice relaxing map building is what we're going to do. It's been a while since we've done that. And then I want to wait for some people to get here if anybody shows up. If nobody shows up, we'll talk about the thing tomorrow that I want to talk about. Hopefully somebody will show up at some point other than Hannah. No. I you know what? I don't want to be mean. Okay. All right, let me see. What is this? Oh, it's terraforming. All right, let me see. Paint the texture. Yeah. Here we go. And then one of these should be really dark, and then I can like... It's like, I always forget how to do this. Okay, brush strength, brush. I don't know why this isn't working. Let me see. Ah, there we go. That's what I want, right? So this actually isn't going to go through. This is actually like a circle, right? Like this is a perfect circle right here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Wow, I tell you. Wow. All right. Like, I mean, that looks pretty good. I think like this is a town. I mean, actually, wait, that looks terrible. Wait. Okay. Let me just undo all of that. I thought there was a terrain. Was this one? I thought there was a really dark one that we had. And of course, because of the fidelity of the map is all messed up, it's like this like almost hexagonal kind of circle. It's not quite a circle. I wish I could just have a circle, but all right, never mind that. All right, we'll stay away from the circle for now. Kind of come over here. Why? I don't trust any of this. Wait a minute. Let me see. I'm going to try a different brush. Yeah, that looks terrible. I thought we had fixed this somehow. I don't remember how, but I thought we had done something to fix this. I think we just need to start a new game. Like, look at that. That looks awful. Huh. What did we do? I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. We did something, but I don't. Now we really want to terraform. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to make this brush bigger. Okay, let me undo that. Make this brush. Ooh, I don't know if I want to go that big. Like, I mean, generally, like with big things like that, you want to ease your way into it. You don't want to jump right into the big ones because those can cause a lot of problems. You want to like start with like the medium-sized ones, right? You want to start with the medium-sized ones and then you work your way up. All right, there we go. Just like that, right? Like we did a good job. Who says we didn't accomplish anything tonight? All right. And then let's put the strength a little bit down, and then we can just kind of... Oh, whoa. I'm like it barely has any strength, and it's just still just like mega strong. There we go. All right. Hannah says, your own memo for today. The goal for tomorrow is to put zone cubes on their own layer. I knew you were going to say that. What was the chime? Somebody just subscribed or something. Unity Coder has followed. Oh, wait, that was 6 months ago. What? Oh, a few seconds ago. Julia Murray has followed. Well, thank you for the follow, Julia Murray. Yeah, I mean, we probably should put the zone cubes on their own layer, but I'm scared. Like, okay, I'm scared. All right? I'm scared. And are you happy? I admitted it. I'm scared to do it because I don't know what it's going to break. It's going to break something, and I'm afraid. I'm scared. Oh, Jesus Christ. I forgot all about the ads. me see.
I want to ask you something important, and I want you to tell me the truth.
All right, tell her the truth.
What?
Why'd you come here?
Just don't want it no more.
It's over because you want it to be over. I'm glad.
I do.
I'm going to get a cop. I mean, this is 4 minutes long. Wait.
That's what I got. In the beginning, I didn't care about what happened to me. I go in the ring, I get believe that's it. He's finished. It's over.
No, wait, this is too long of a clip. No, it's not, I just want the. Okay, here we go.
That's the truth, damn it!
I'm afraid.
There we
all
go.
right? You want to hear me say it? You want to break me down? All right, I'm afraid. My life, I'm afraid.
Yep. See, that's how I feel. I like Rocky is talking. He's talking about Unity programming in this clip.
You want to hear me say it? You want to break me down? All right, I'm afraid. For the first time in my life, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's not the first time in my life, but I mean, I've definitely been afraid before. But no, this is, yeah, it's not good. I mean, I guess we could. Okay, let me fix these errors here, and let's like what the hell's going on here with this error? Agent remaining distance. What was the error? What did it say? Get remaining distance can only be called on the active agent that has been placed on the nav mesh. Maybe I need to rebake. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Let me see. Again, it's been a long time since. I mean, like okay, nav mesh zones. All right, easy. Now there's a way to visualize these, and I can never remember how. Oh, wait a minute. I think it's one of these buttons. No, none of that. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, wait, let me put the music back on. Have no clue what it means, but it scares you. Where's my horse paddock? And oh no, oh god! And there are horses in this world, by the way. But oh god, it's no. They're gross. Like horses are. I don't know how you work around horses like the way you do. Like they're really like they're terrifying creatures. Like they are. Okay, wait. Okay, I want to remember how to turn on so I can see the nav mesh zones. And I know what Matthew's going to say. He's going to be like, the gizmos view. You gotta look at the gizmo. The gizmos view has never really worked the way that because everything is like, oh, the gizmos, turn on the gizmos. And I turn it on and nothing changes. Like, according to this, oh, wait, maybe I need to push this. Oh, okay, I needed to push that. Okay, never mind. All right, so let me see. How did I do this? Okay, so okay. All right, let me go one by one and rebake each one. I believe you have to have them overlapping a little bit so that way the nav mesh zone can kind of so that like the AI can walk from one zone to the other seamlessly. So, and I'm pretty sure they are overlapping. So I'm just going through and I'm going to rebake each one. Now I'm going to clear the errors, and we're going to pretend like they never happened. All right. I assume it's done. I'm not 100% sure. I guess it's impossible to tell you if it's done. God forbid Unity actually tell you that it's done. Okay, let's play the game and see if we get any errors. But we might have to have the AI. We might have to have the AI go aggro, because that's when they're going to like chase you and stuff. No, I mean, but in terms of horses, I won't go near those things. Like, you know how I feel about horses, Hannah. No, not going. Like horses, again, like they have killed so many people. They killed Superman. A horse killed Superman. Superman can cut through the earth with his eyes. He can stand in front of a bullet and a train at the same time, and they will both ricochet off of him. But a horse, there's two things that Superman can't withstand: kryptonite and horses. So you want to go messing with the horse? Then be my guest. No, thank you. All right, let me see. Are these guys aggro? Hey, bro, are you aggro? If I shoot him, I think he aggroes. Okay, so we're not getting any errors in the console, and they are chasing me. Why are they stopping there? Okay, the follow algorithm is not very good, but he is chasing me at least. And then we did see some weird behavior where, like, I was shooting one of them. Oh, and then the error is back. Okay, did it come back when he died? All right. Okay, when he goes to the investigate state. Okay. It's very strange. Very strange. Very strange happenings going on. Oh, God, an ant. Get away. So, okay, I want to talk about something in a minute, but let me see. Okay, I'm going to pay more attention to the console to see when. Okay, I'm going to kill this guy. Okay, all right. Let me get one guard at a time. You don't want to try and take two guards at a time, right? Like, not unless you're experienced. Because two at the same time, that requires experience, and you really need to know what you're doing in order to have two at the same time. So just stick to one. It really, like, honestly, if you have two guard, like if there's three of you, somebody usually gets left out. Like, that's just kind of how things happen. So it's really kind of best to just have that one-on-one unless you're very experienced. And I'm talking about the video game, okay? So whatever you think I'm talking about, get your mind out of the gutter. All right, so let's see. If I shoot this guy... Wait, let me... Oh, wait. Nope. Okay, he died. Okay, so I think the other one is giving me the error. So let's enable the other one. Okay. Oh, that's interesting, but okay, let's enable this. Okay, disable chill at first guard 1, enable chill at first guard 2, and then let's see if we can get that error to come back. All right, we're gonna try this. Okay, here we go. Oh, whoa, where'd that come from? Where'd that come from? I don't like that. Okay, let's just clear it out and see. Hope it never happens again. If it does happen, I'm not sure where to go from here. Okay. Okay, his health bar doesn't work. And then it does seem that when he dies, that this... Let me see. Does it keep happening? It does keep happening. All right, let's just set a breakpoint and see what's going on. Well, first of all, he's dead, and he's in the investigate state. So that in and of itself is a problem. Like, he should be in the dead state. Razman is in the house. Razman, the Singleton man, who's not made an appearance in who knows how long, running from ice, I can only assume. But nope, he has finally decided that he is good enough to join us. Well, thank you, Razman. Thank you for joining the stream. It has been a long time. All right, so let me see. Agent, that's not null. What? Okay, so agent path pending is... Okay, let's just do this. Path pending. Path pending is false. So if that is false and remaining distance is less than arrival threshold, what is it? Why? Wait, there's no error. I'm so confused. Or is there an error? Okay, wait a minute. See, look, it's just giving me the same error over and over. Get remaining distance. Okay. Can only be called an active agent that has been placed on. Okay. So it thinks the agent is not active. How does it make that determination? So I'm guessing remaining distance is going to call this get remaining distance, which is probably what it's talking about. But the agent itself, oh, wait a minute. Don't we? I think we like set the agent deactive or something at some point. Do we actually do that, or am I just making that up? Let me see. Like when he dies, he should be, or is he going into the death state and then going right to the investigate state? Like I get the feeling like that's what's happening. Reset idle state. Is stopped, reset path. I'm just looking at all references to agent. I don't even see death state on here. Or do I? Follow. Okay, so that's follow, go to. Okay. Those are the friendly NPC states. Enemy pursue state. Patrol. Investigate. Idle, and follow. Okay, so the question is, why is he not dying properly? Like, that's honestly the question I ask myself quite a bit. Like, why is he not dying properly? Henna's saying hi to Raz. Raz says, only a weirdo like you would stream during work hours. Who will watch the stream? LLMs have to let... okay, first of all, it's 4 p.m., all right? So, I have a grown-up job, which means that the workday is over, okay? Second of all, it is the pre-kend. So there are some allowances can be made for the pre-kend, okay? And third of all, no es tu asuntos, okay? Mind your own business. Tus asuntos, no es tus asuntos. All right, now how do you say that? Like, no, I don't think you use es. How to say it's none of your business in Spanish. It's like something with asuntos. No es asunto tuyo. That sounds weird. Okay, but I guess that's the proper Spanish. All right. I knew it was asunto. But why wouldn't it be? It's not plural? No, it's... Is it really not plural? No, it's tu asunto. It's not plural? It's not asuntos? Huh. Okay. Lisa is in the house. Lisa, how are you, my dear, sweet Lisa? I've missed you. I am so glad you're here. You are by far my favorite chatter in the... No, I'm kidding. I have no favorites. I love you all equally, but I have indeed missed you, Lisa. Actually, I'm in my car. Okay, make sure you pay attention. Be sure to look. Don't talk. Don't mess with your phone. Okay? Drive safely. Drive the speed limit. Follow the laws. Do not get in trouble. We can't afford to lose a single chatter, okay? Like, that's what I'm most concerned about. So Razman insists, you know what? Okay, I hereby declare a new rule in Spanish. The asunto, it's plural. It is going to be plural. No es tus asuntos, okay? That's how you say it. There was another way of saying it. No es tu asuntos. There's another way to say it. I feel like texting my ex-girlfriend because she would always say that. But I mean, because I feel like texting her to ask, like, you know, instead of texting her, I would have, instead of asking her, because this is how women are, right? Like, if I asked her directly, like, hey, how do you say this? And like you used to say something like you would say it's not your business, because her English is okay. So if I said it's none of your business in English, she would get the gist of it. But so if I asked her directly, ¿Cómo se dice it's none of your business in español? What's going to happen is her female brain is going to kick in, and she's going to be like, I'm not telling, like she's not going to tell me, right? She's just not going to tell me. So what I could do instead is I could text her and be like, hey, and she'll be like, hola. And I'll be like, ¿Qué hiciste anoche? What did you do last night? And then she'd break out the, no, es tu asuntos, or whatever it is, right? Then she would say it's none of your business. If I asked her what so that's what I have to do. I'd have to ask her what she did last night in order for her to actually tell me how to say this. Razman says the gringo Spanish is not going to work here, is not a tourist zone. There's another way to say it though. Okay. Because I don't think she would, maybe she did. I can't remember. I'm going to ask ChatGPT. Let me go off camera. Let me close the chat for a second. Matthew, I'm glad you're here because we are going to talk about API design. This is non-game related. We're going to talk about API and kind of data design. But first, I want to figure out how to say this in Spanish because what are some ways to say it's none of your business in Spanish? Let's see what it is. Business isn't plural though, so I thought it would be plural. I thought it would be pluralized in Spanish. No es personal, quiero. All right, maybe she did say no es tus asuntos. No es asunto tuyo. Okay, I'm going to teach you this one. In Mexican Spanish, no es te pedo. No, she definitely didn't say that because she's not a dirty Mexican. No, but she's a dirty South American. Nunca. What? There was this line from Breaking Bad that I would always quote to her. That was like, I'm not going to do it justice, but no, it's like okay. I can do this. I know what it is in English, but I want to say it in Spanish, and I'm so out of practice with my Spanish. But nunca se confías de la gente de Sudamérica son gente sucio. Basically, never trust a South American. Or no, I think he actually used the word sudaca. Nunca te confías. No, nunca. How would you even say that? Nunca te confías. No, nunca te confías. Nunca te confías gente. No, nunca te confías sudacas. Son están sucio gente. Something like that. Gustavo Fring sounds better. That's it. I'm not sure. Can you ban Raz? Ban Razman, okay? His ADHD doesn't let him. That's not what I said. You can't read. I have ADHD, but I can read just fine. Okay, you know what? You know what? Hey, Razman, ban yourself and then ban Lisa, okay? And do it in that order. Make sure you do it in that order. Okay, here's what we're going to talk about. We're not going to do any game programming tonight. So literally, there's been something at my day job that has been kind of like driving me nuts. And it's just one of those things that I need to sit down and I need to dedicate some brain power to it, but I keep getting distracted and then I have ADHD. And so I haven't been able to concentrate on it to really kind of come to a solution. So I thought what I would do is just talk about it on here. And I can do this in a way where it's generic enough where I'm not really like giving away any like company secrets or anything like that, right? So but I do want to get a drawing tool. So let me see if I can find my drawing tool. Where's my drawing tool? Will this work? This might work. This might do a good job. Okay. All right. So let me set the stage, okay? I'm going to set the stage. First, let's set the stage, okay? Did I mention how I'm going to set the stage? So we have, I'm not going to talk about like details or anything, but just assume that they're like, if you are a customer of ours, what you do is you not only buy our software, but you buy hardware. Obviously, we don't make hardware. It's actually Dell hardware, but it comes preloaded with our software, right? And this is a server. So we are a business, we are a B2B, a business to business. And so our customers are other businesses, right? So if you are a customer of ours, you are probably a big business, right? Like you're probably like a Walmart or a Target or a government agency. Like you're a big business. And so you have a lab where you can buy our product, and we sell a 1U and we sell a 2U, which means, like, you know, if you ever look like at a if you don't know what that is, if you look at a server rack, right? When they talk about 1U, 2U, 3U, 4U, what the U is, it means unit, but what that represents is like how many slots on the rack it takes up, right? So 1U means it takes up 1 slot, 2U means it takes up 2, 3, et cetera, right? And I think, you know, you can buy racks in like 16U, 32, something like that. Anyway, so we have a 1U unit that we sell. We have a 2U unit that we sell. But the point of that is, that's not really important. The point of it is that you buy an on-premises computer that you put into your lab, into a server rack that you have in your lab, and then you happily run our software. So, and honestly, our software has multiple units. Like, you have customers that have, I don't know that we have any customers that have hundreds of our servers, but definitely dozens. But I'm going to represent it all by the on-prem, okay? We're going to call it the on-prem portion, okay? So now what we're doing is we have a cloud portion. Well, we're making this cloud portion, and that's kind of what this conversation is about. So I'm just going to call this, I'm going to change the shape, but I'm going to call this cloud feature 1, okay? And we can safely assume this is all AWS based. I'm going to just create 3 features, okay? So we're just going to have cloud feature 1, cloud feature 2, and cloud feature 3. All right. I bet you didn't see that coming. All right. No, you know what? I'm going to liven it up. Nope. Cloud feature C. Okay, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not insane. I'm not some Mexican. Okay. So far, I assume you're with me. If you have any questions, just raise your hand and I'll be happy to answer, okay? Okay, so this on-prem portion, it will talk to it. So let me back up. How would you implement this? That's pretty easy, right? You could just have this guy say, you could have it talk to each feature as needed, right? Now, one thing to keep in mind, first keep in mind that the cloud features are not released yet, okay? This is all in development. So that's one thing to keep in mind. The other thing to keep in mind is, I already forgot what I was going to say. Okay, I got too distracted drawing these lines. All right, let me put this here. Easy. Okay, right. A very naive implementation. So when okay, Lisa's raised her hand. Okay, Lisa. Okay, what's your question? I'm waiting. Matthew says Dark Skies is a good film. All right. There's no fixing him. Wait. Lisa said a drawing tool. Give me the band hammer. I dare you. I don't know. Razman's already left, so I'm not giving you the band hammer, Lisa. I don't trust. You never trust women with band permissions. Just this has been the most misogynistic stream today. It should have been Misogyny Thursday, really. Maybe we'll do that on Monday. We'll have Misogyny Monday. No. We're going to switch it up on Monday. We'll have Misandry Monday. All right, just for the ladies. It'll be ladies' night. Misandry Monday. There we go. Lisa says I should do my dishes. Yes, you should. Okay. Is that really how you say drawing? What did I say? Drawing. Members Monday is actually not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. If I had more members, I would do it. But what? How am I saying drawing wrong? Drawing. Like, now you've got me all self-conscious about the way I say drawing. All right. Well, how do you say stupid? You say it, but Lisa. That's how. Razman says do it. Okay. God. Okay. Don't get ahead of yourself, okay? I haven't even asked the question yet, Razman, all right? I haven't asked the question. Okay, Lisa says drawing doesn't have an L in it. Okay, well, you know what, Lisa? You don't have a brain in it. How's that? Ooh, burn. Okay, so Razman, this is not an architecture system design discussion, okay? I'm just laying the groundwork for what we are ultimately going to discuss, right? We're going to discuss. Okay, so each of the, now as a customer, you will opt into these features. You're already paying for the on-prem portion, right? And then Cloud Feature 1, you can optionally purchase it or license it. And that's the key. You can optionally license Cloud Feature 1, 2, and 3. You can optionally license all of these, okay? So, now, what we have also, I'm going to draw a new service. Now, before I draw anything else, I want to make sure that we understand the only thing that is not cloud-based is the on-prem. So everything else I draw will be cloud-based, okay? So now we have a license server. All right, easy. All right, I'm going to put that out here. License server, okay? So the license server, it does lots of things, including licensing, but the license server is also under development, just something to keep in mind, okay? Now, what the purpose of this, here's what the discussion is about. Here's what the discussion is about. Cloud Feature 1 needs to know if it's licensed. Cloud Feature 2 needs to know if it's licensed. Cloud Feature 3 needs to know if it's licensed. So you could have Cloud Feature 1 so basically the customer takes an action in the on-prem, which is like, hey, I want to, this action is going to use Cloud Feature 1. So a request is sent from on-prem to Cloud Feature 1. Cloud Feature 1 will then ping the license server and be like, hey, is customer X licensed for Cloud Feature 1? Or for me, really? And then the license server will send back a response, okay? So on-prem, cloud. So the flow is going to look a little bit, I'm going to draw this out. Here's what the flow is going to look a little bit like. If I just draw this out, I'm not going to use Mermaid because I feel like it would take me longer to type it out in Mermaid. I can just do it like this really quickly. Okay. So now, one thing I forgot to mention is some of these services, I'm going to put these two, I'm going to put, never mind. I'm not going to talk about that thing. Okay. So, Cloud Feature X is what we're going to call it. Cloud Feature X does its thing, but what's going to happen first instead is that this is really easy. All right. All right. Easy. Okay, so Cloud Feature X is basically every Cloud Feature is going to you do the request on-prem, it talks to the Cloud Feature. Cloud Feature is going to basically going to ask license server like, hey, is customer X, is he licensed for feature? Let's say customer Z. Or as Matthew would say, customer Z, right? For Cloud Feature X. Are they licensed? And so then the license server is going to return something. All right. So I'm thinking out loud, okay? All right. I know it seems really simple right now, but it's about to get complex. Now, let's keep in mind, C++ programmers don't know how to do UML. What? Is this 2002? Like, seriously, you want to bring up UML? Like, are we talking go back to 2000, like maybe they just got UML in Mexico last year, okay? But the world has moved on. So, all right, at least Matthew can say, ban Lisa, ban. I would give your best friend Razman the certificate of license server. I don't know what that means, but I found that funny for some reason. All right, let me restart the music. Okay, so the request might look something. It's going to look like something very simple, right? Like, I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna type out the actual fields, but that doesn't matter too much. No. I'm getting ahead of myself. Account ID, right? Account ID, and this might look like, I don't know, customer Matthew, and then we might have product ID. Now, a customer. And I'm going to do this because there's all kinds of little idiosyncrasies in here. So a customer, you can have a singular customer can have multiple of these on-prems, right? And they will have to subscribe to Cloud Feature 1 for each on-prem instance, if that makes sense. So the product ID, which is, I know it's a little confusing, but so you have your customer ID, and then the product ID is the instance ID. And you can kind of think of it like that. Like it's the on-prem instance, okay? So product ID, and then maybe we're just going to call it England, right? Because maybe he has an instance in his lab in England, and then we're going to call it feature ID, which will be Cloud Feature.1, okay? Now, this is what the request looks like, right? This is saying, hey, I am customer Matthew, and I am instance England. Now, before I can already hear you. Well, what if they spoof the connection? What's stopping them from changing the product ID fuck you. Just stop that. Just calm down. Just assume that this is immutable. Okay. Just humor me. Assume it is unhackable. All right. So you have the account ID, product ID, feature ID. So this is asking, hey, the customer, I am customer Matthew in England, and I want to use Cloud Feature 1. And then the request, right? The request is going to be the data for that specific feature, blah, 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 right? That the request is specific to the feature, right? Different features are going to have different data sent. Some might have no data sent, some might have, but they're different. Okay. So the response, this is where it starts to get tricky. Okay. Now, the thing to keep in mind is that the features, they can have different types of licensing. Let's talk about the different types of licensing. Different types of licensing. So the most easiest one is to think of monthly, right? But then you could have annually. Okay, wait. Annually. You could have, I don't know. Okay, so these are like term, I guess maybe those are term licenses, like, but then they might have like usage limits, right? You might have a usage limit license where like you can process X amount of widgets per month. Right. So not only is it a matter of, oh, you're allowed to use this feature until the end of July, but it might be you're allowed. We're in June. So it might be you are allowed 100 requests of this feature per month. And this current month ends in June. OK, so that's what, think about AI. I I bet if I did this, will it give it to me? Because they did change everything. Okay, everything's changed. But basically, you know how it says down at the bottom, it says, here's your usage for the month. It resets on such and such date. Like that might be one of the ways that the licensing works. But you could also have like a perpetual license. Like maybe the customer gives us a bunch of money and now they have free usage of They have free usage of the feature for life, or maybe they have a semi-perpetual where they have free usage. No, they have well, actually, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so whatever. I'm thinking on the fly. The point is that different features can have different licensing, and they might have different licensing terms, and. Okay, I gotta calm down for a minute. Kisses, Addy. I mean, he doesn't know what he's talking about, but I want to ban that Razman. Oh my God, look who it is. Look who it is. Look who decided to show up. Look who it is. It's the 70-year-old Inuit woman himself, Mr. Not Sure. Well, you have a lot of nerve showing yourself around here. Not Sure? I've got a list of people I need you to ban. Start with Lisa, then ban Razman, and then ban yourself. There you go. Okay. So, I'm not sure it says he's a beautiful snowflake. So there's all these different types of licensing. Okay. So there's a couple of design considerations here. One person I worked with was like, well, maybe the cloud feature. Everybody's showing up tonight. I love it. Ellipsis Triangle Trap. It's great to see you. I love Ellipsis Triangle. It's Ellipsis Triangle Trap And the guy last night, what was his name? It was like Chill No Chill, or what was his name, Henna? It was like something Chill. What the hell was that guy's name? It was like something Chill No Chill. I loved it, and everybody's here. Okay, so somebody let's talk about it. Let's pretend one of these is AI. Okay, or no, I mean it doesn't really matter. Let's say that one of the license options is monthly 100 requests, okay? Feature 1 gets 100 requests. Like if you sign up for that license, but maybe there's another license where you can pay a little bit more and you get a monthly of 1,000 requests per month, okay? Doesn't matter. What I'm getting at is who should do the tracking and who should actually do the decision. And so what I was gearing towards was that the license server. So somebody said, well, what should happen? This is what they suggested. When Cloud Feature 1 reaches out to the license server returns a Boolean saying yes or no. And then the Cloud Feature 1 can optionally request details as to like why, or, or maybe it can be included in the original Boolean request. I don't like, the idea doesn't sit well with me for the license server to necessarily have that kind of granular data. And what I mean by that is let's say you are customer Matthew and you sign up for Cloud Feature 1 and you have lots of money, so you have signed up such that you get 1,000 requests per month, okay? Now, throughout the month you're using the feature. You're using the feature. Who should keep track of it? So you do have the consideration of, okay, so there's two main options as I see it, right? There's two big options. One, and here, the path I originally went down is that under certain conditions, Feature 1 would ping the license server. Those conditions are when does a feature ping, or no. When does Cloud Feature 1 query license server? And you could do it. So the two main ones is if Cloud Feature 1 has no data about the user, and if the user is out of policy, meaning that I know I'm all over the place. I know, yes, I'm having one of those 3-hour meetings. It could have been one email. Sure, could have been. Yep. Okay. So what I mean by this is my thought was, well, Cloud Feature 1 should keep track of its own usage. And so what should happen is the customer makes a request to Cloud Feature 1. It's going to send this data here. It's going to send the account ID, the product ID, and the feature ID. Really, you don't need to send the feature ID. I guess you really don't need to send. Oh, no, you do for a subset, because some of these guys might have like a sub feature. So you do need to send the feature ID. Okay. So my thinking was, well, what you would do is a request would come in. How can we draw this? I want to keep both things on the screen at a time. Let me just do, come here. No. All right, there. Okay. So what happens is customer makes a request. Customer makes request to Cloud Feature 1. All right. Cloud Feature 1 looks in its usage table for customer data, customer/usage data. Okay, so it's basically customer Feature 1 has a table, and where basically it maps the customer to how much it has used Cloud Feature 1, how much it has used itself. Okay, if there's no data, if there's no customer/usage data, then query license server for such data. Right? Does that make sense? So it's going to look at its own usage table. And if it doesn't have any data for the customer, then it's going to say, hey, license server, customer Matthew in England is trying to use Cloud Feature 1. Like, what's the deal, right? The other time is if the customer is out of policy. That's the other time that Cloud Feature 1 will ping the license server. So if Cloud Feature 1, it's keeping track of how many requests, or and let's say Matthew, he's making his 1001st request. He's making his one. Why can I not speak English? He's making his 556th request. And now Cloud Feature 1 is like, oh, I have stored in my local usage table that Matthew only has access to 555 requests. Before I reject this, let me refresh with the license server to make sure that Matthew, maybe he's changed his plan and he has a new license or whatever. So rather than saying we still haven't heard a question, we're having more of a discussion than a question. All right. So that seems like a good separation of responsibilities to me. And the reason I like that design is because maybe you get some, okay, well, that was the way I thought, where like the Cloud Feature 1 is kind of responsible for accepting or rejecting whether or not a user can use the feature. What somebody else has suggested is the Boolean, right? Let's go back to the Boolean, where basically what would happen is customer makes the request to Cloud Feature 1, then Cloud Feature 1 sends requests to license server right away, basically saying, hey, can the customer use this, right? Basically, and what that means then is now, okay, wait, I'm thinking, okay, so the request comes in. Now what happens there is, what am I trying to say? He sends the request to the license server. So, okay, got it. So now license server needs to have the logic in itself that says whether or not when to accept or reject a request. Basically, when to say yes or no. And that doesn't sit well with me, because now if we have a new Cloud Feature 4 and it has some weird licensing, I don't know what that weird licensing would be, but shit happens and it might have some weird licensing. Now I have to make a change to license server. I have to make a change to the license server to compensate for Cloud Feature 4's weird licensing, or weird licensing conditions. Like, I don't know, maybe you have to have maybe you have to be subscribed to my channel before you can use the feature, but also you're only allowed 500 requests. But then if you're also subscribed to Matthew's channel, then you get 1,000, just some weird shit, because weird shit happens. You can't really plan concretely for every little edge case that's going to happen. You can only plan for edge cases happening, if that makes sense. So to me, it makes sense to have the logic of when to accept or deny a request in the feature itself, because the feature itself knows when the feature itself is going to know. Whereas putting all of that logic into the license server itself. So that's kind of the heart of the question. Like, what do you guys think? And also, one big thing that I was thinking of also is, what does this response from the license server look like? And so what I was originally thinking of, and then I was talking to ChatGPT a little bit about it, and it's like, Matthew says, have base licensing and license server and make decorator classes for special cases. But again, there you have specific logic in the license server for each feature. And I think that the license server generally should be agnostic to the feature's licensing licensing logic is a good way to put it. Like the license server. All right, let me think about this. Let's think about this. Again, what I'm trying to avoid is if you have to add a new feature with some weird licensing, you shouldn't have to update license server. Like that's what I really want to avoid. And I really like AI was suggesting, where's my AI conversation? Where's my AI? Okay, wait a minute. I'm not showing you guys this conversation because I open up a lot to AI. Okay, license server design. Okay, but I want to get, because I think I asked AI. Okay, license types are generic. So here's the type of here are the license types that AI recommended. Because where I was really getting stumped, and this is one thing that I would like to open up to you guys and Mr. Razman, because he knows everything. What does the response from the license server look like? So keep in mind that we want more than just a Boolean. We want to be able to tell the user why they were we want to be able to tell the user why the request doesn't go through if it doesn't go through. It should be on the license servers. It will check the database or policy. Well, keep in mind, we're designing the database and the policies. I just spelled soda on myself. Oh, Muan's gone. All right. Why did anybody tell me Muan's gone? All right. So if we put it all in the license server, now we're modifying the license server when there's a new feature that has some new license type. So here's the license type. So subscription, which I guess is I guess you could have annual and annual and monthly subscriptions, right? Trial, which would have a certain amount of days for a trial. Metered. Okay, what exactly is metered, right? Maybe something in feature 1 is metered, but something else in feature 3 is metered. Like maybe in feature 1, you're metering requests, but in feature 2, you're metering tokens. Consumption, I'm not sure how that's exactly different than metering. How is that different? How is that different than metering? Capacity, that makes sense. Capacity, okay, but now license server needs to see. The other thing I don't like is if license server keeps track of everything, then every time a request comes in the Cloud Feature 1 has to send a new request to the license server. But a coworker did make a good point saying that the latency between, because each one of the everything non-prem, everything that is not an on-prem, everything that is a cloud, license server is also in the cloud. When it's all API gateway. So API gateways within the same account, within the same region, apparently the latency is milliseconds. So I guess it would be okay for Cloud Feature 1 to be oh, Matthew sent another request to the license server. Every time Matthew makes a request, the Cloud Feature 1 has to tell the license server. But capacity kind of runs into the same issue. So now Cloud Feature 1 is constantly updating license servers saying, oh, well, he added a new file. He deleted a new file. He added some bytes to a new file. So now every change has to be, well, not maybe, there are ways you could buffer it and not every change, update every few seconds or whatever it is. But still, there's a lot of inter-API communication. There's a lot of Cloud Feature 1 talking to license server and, just a lot of communication going on there. Concurrent, I'm not sure what that even means. Tiered, that doesn't seem like a license type. That seems more like a type. I mean, tiered this here. This here to me, what I wrote for Cloud Feature 1, where you have one that has 100 requests, another one that has 555 requests, that seems like tier licensing. To me, that's what tier licensing means. You have different tiers of usage. Different. Well, you just have different tiers. Or maybe if it like another thing is like AI, different tiers could be like different models, right? So you pay cheap. Like if you're cheapo like Razman, you get the model from 2023. But if you're like a super Chad, like not sure, then you get like a cutting edge model, but you pay more. Add-on, that sounds stupid too. Bundle, that sounds stupid too. Perpetual, that makes sense. Yes, I'm just gonna put yes. A grace license, I'm not sure what that is, but I don't know. And then suspended, I'm not sure how is suspended a license type. So the AI wasn't making a lot of sense to me. But again, what does the response from the license server look like? So here was my idea, but my idea also runs into problems. My idea was that the license server, basically what each thing is going to ask, remember, we go back to when does Cloud Feature 1 query the license server? If we go with that model, basically the query that Cloud Feature 1 makes to the license server is saying, hey, give me the last, I don't even know what to call it, I guess row. We'll just go with a database term. Give me the last row of this account, product, and feature tuple. Give me the last row of this tuple. And now, in the database, what you would have is you would basically have a blob. And the blob could be catered to each license type. Or actually would be catered to the feature, right? So, and now, set up an MCP server and let it decide. I don't even know what that means. Okay, so going back to my idea of having it store a blob, and this might not be the best idea either, but basically the database table, and this is going to be a oh my god, I'm blanking. The difference between between MySQL and Mongo. It's not. I keep wanting to say the word structured. Is it structured? Like Mongo is an unstructured? No, there's a different word. There's a different word for the type of database. Well, it's NoSQL, but there's a different word. Just pass it a secret password. I like that idea. Not sure. This not sure. This is why you're going places. This is why you. This is how you do it. This is the way. Okay, so. Let's imagine this is everything below this is the database, right? So you would have customer Matthew is one row. Let's just do it and then England cloud feature .1, and then you would have a blob of data, and this would be like, I don't know, end of term. Obviously, you probably wouldn't want to store the data as a string, but we're just going to do it just for demonstration purposes. I don't know, request allowance, and then 555. Whereas customer Razman is poor because he's living in Mexico. He's Cloud Feature 1. Now his blob of data has an end of term also in June. June, I'm going to put that in quotes, June 30, 2026. But since he's a Mexican and he can only make 100 requests, right? And then customer not sure, who is, I don't know, in Monaco. Am I spelling Monaco right? Because he's rich. He lives in Monaco. For Cloud Feature 1, end of term, you could literally just have maybe I don't know, June 30th. What am I? 2099, right? And then request allowance infinity. All right. So basically a perpetual license that he can use until that he can make a mini request. So what I'm getting at is, so this information that I'm storing, you can see here that what's in the JSON is specific to the cloud feature. So let's talk about another cloud. Let's talk about another feature. So this cloud feature 1 is very much like AI usage. Cloud feature 2, maybe that is, I don't know, maybe it's perpetual. And in that case, if it's a perpetual license, right? Customer Matthew, also based in England, cloud feature .2. See, this is the problem. I'm talking myself into my own idea, so I need you guys to like tell me why it's a bad idea. But the point of this is that the blob of data, it wouldn't be the same, or it doesn't have to be the same, since cloud feature 2 is you either have it for life or you don't have it. Maybe it has nothing, right? Because the very existence of this row tells you whether or not the customer's purchase is perpetual license or not. And if you're asking yourself, well, how do you know when they bought the license and all of that? That's a different database, right? That's like a SKU database, or like something like, that's a customer database. This is just like license handling, not necessarily license purchase. Oh, okay. This is licensing validation. This is not license management in terms of, well, they purchased a license or their license has been revoked for whatever reason. This is just licensing validation, basically saying, is the license active or not? All right. And then cloud feature, I'm trying to think of like, okay, let's go back up to this. So subscription, metered. Metered is a good one. Or let's do capacity, right? Like disk space is an example, right? Like disk space is a good example. Like maybe you're storing things on the cloud, and so you have to pay for your storage. So customer Matthew in England, he's cloud feature 3, and this is, I don't know, disk space, I don't know, 500 gigs. So this is my idea, is where you would basically have a blob of data for each feature. And now some of it would be repetitive, right? Because some of it would have like, maybe feature 4 has a request allowance and a term that renews every month. So but it doesn't matter. The issue here, and actually I guess the issue doesn't really get away, is that like, well, wait a minute. Okay, let's say that we go with my idea. What happens on July 1st when Matthew makes that first request? Well, license server will not, unless we have some cron job that runs no, that's not going to work. Because now you need logic in license server that says, oh, we're past June 30th, so put a new row in. So this would actually be, oh, this is a good one. What happens on July? So let's say Matthew. So in Copilot, you subscribe for a year, and then you get an allowance every month with that yearly subscription. So let's go with that model. So on July 1st, what would have to happen with my idea is this row would have to be recreated or modified or whatever, but it would have to be redone for July 31st. How does that happen? So now you need another database, but now you just have a database that needs another database that needs another database. Oh, God. This is tricky, boys. This is tricky, and so far, you idiots have suggested absolutely nothing useful. Like, I didn't bother talking to this with people at work who have 20 years experience individually, collectively, like probably like a millennia of experience, maybe not quite that much, but at least a few centuries of experience combined. I didn't bother talking to these people. I bothered talking to you morons, and look what I get. Look exactly what I got, exactly what I should expect it. The only person in this entire conversation that has been of any help is Henna. So that's it. What do you mean, that you're back? You didn't even tell me what right. I think a blob of data is a good idea. Okay, so this is my idea. We still haven't solved the problem of like how does this new row get updated? Because what if Matthew's yearly term is up, right? You know what you could do? You know what you could do instead is Cloud Feature 1 would know that it had... Cloud Feature 1 would know, oh, people subscribe to me for a year and they get a monthly allowance. Cloud Feature 1 knows that. So really the only thing you need is June 30th, 2027. And then you could still, maybe monthly allowance would be a better term here. Okay. So that's the blob of data. So now that solves that problem, right? Because, no, it doesn't. There's a big assumption there. The assumption there is that everybody's allowance resets at the first of the month, which is actually what Microsoft does. And if it's good enough for Microsoft, it should be good enough for us. But what if they say, okay, oh, excuse me. Okay. What if they offer another license here and they offer a lifetime license? No, this doesn't make sense. This forces you to require every year. But do you see what's happening here? Is we're getting bogged down with all these details of these licenses. All these little details, all these little like, oh, well, what if it really does, it's going to reset every year, but every month during that year you get an allowance. But what if a PM comes to us and says, okay, well, we need it. We want a perpetual. Okay, like that's a good example. What if we want to sell monthly 100, monthly requests of 500, but these are annual subscriptions, right? Each one of these is an annual subscription where you get a monthly request allowance of 100, annual. But now instead of annual, Not Sure says, let me lock in. All right. Well, ban yourself while you're at it, Not Sure. Just go ahead and ban yourself. I'm trying to think because, okay, these all assume... See, the problem here is this assumes that this is an annual subscription with a monthly allowance. But what if... I'm trying to think of something that breaks that. Like, what if it's a perpetual? Well, then you do something like this down here, right? That you could just like literally you could just put it, okay, well, this license actually expires in the year 5000. Like it's a little hacky, or you could actually just kind of like just do kind of like what I did with the like infinite, right? Like, it never expires and there's no monthly limit. Okay. Okay, I think that solves that. I think. And then the blob of data. Okay. And then the Boolean version of like yes or no. Okay. But we still haven't answered the question. Okay. So what happens on... Well, how does the license server even know about this? That's a good question too. Well, that's going to have to be some... You know what? I made an executive decision. I just made an executive decision. I have said So this feature needs to be out pretty soon, relatively soon. And I have said, you know what? For phase one, it is perfectly fine if we have to log into the production database and enter this shit in manually. That is fine. That is fine for phase one. So, because I was going to say, like, how would we know that the customer even renewed? And Matthew says, I think you should quit your day job and make a game. Yeah, no, I think I should too. You just give each software instance a key to keep track of it. Oh my God, not sure. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, Matthew, please ban not sure. I can't take it. I can't deal with it today. I can't do it. I'm up to here. I'm up to here, boys. I can't do it. The night before last, I slept so terribly. I slept horribly the night before last. Like it was an awful night's sleep. Last night, I slept so good. I slept so good. Tonight, I'm not sure. I didn't get. Oh! I don't know if you saw this. Oh, check this out. Check out what happened to me. Huh? Interesting. All right. Check out what happened to me this morning. Check this out. Okay, you ready? Wait, there I am walking down the stairs. Now, I don't know if you can really see it. Let me back up a minute. But this is my house. Okay, this is the interior of my house. This is a camera I have in the gym that faces towards the back of the house. And there's the stairs that go upstairs, actually where I am. I'm upstairs now. But this morning, I was walking down. The stairs are wood, and I was wearing socks. And I was like remarking because my wife was leaving for the day, so I was taking the dog downstairs to say goodbye to her. Oh, let's back up. And then boom! Right from under me. Now, look at now, I think probably the most impressive thing about this is my wife's lightning reaction. Check this out. From the time I start to fall till the time she kind of, there's that like right, I'm like pointing to the screen as though you can see, but like right here. So this is like the TV room back here, but then like right here, there's a door and that's a half bathroom. So I think she was in there, like, probably taking a big old stinky dump, but so check, but just take note of how long it takes her to like just be on her way to assist me. I mean, like within like less like a second. Okay, maybe a second and a half. Somehow the dog was fine. Somehow I did not break a bone, but I like there my house. So I own I own two houses. Thank you. No, but in the house, my investment property, I also have wooden stairs, a staircase very much like this. And this one time I was carrying laundry from the second floor down to the first floor, and wearing socks. My feet went from out under me and I went back and landed on my head. And I actually ended up going to the ER because I hit my head and I was afraid that I was concussed. Turns out that I was not concussed, but I was very glad that I went to the ER because I was single at that time. And I ended up, I ended up making friends with a nurse who was like checking me. And then, so she was fun. She might have been married, but she was fun. Okay, Not Sure says, I don't know. Just keep track of key. Oh, my God. Dude. You know what? I'm going to forgive you because I don't think you were here for the first part. I don't think you were here for the introduction of all of this. So I'm going to let it slide. I'm still waiting for Razman to speak up. Where did my drawing go? or as Lisa would say, drawing. Where's my drawing? I need my draw. Where did my drawing go? Okay, there it is. Let's see. Each time, okay, so not sure. Maybe one thing that's not clear, and maybe this will clear up why, like, I'm like, just like, God damn it, not sure. So basically, I'm going to do like this. Let's see, how can I do this? Shape, I'll just do like this. Okay, but I don't want this to have a background. Okay, can I send that to the back? Send backward. I want to send all the way to the back. Okay. Everything in the blue box is on AWS. It's all on AWS. Okay. So the only thing that's running on hardware in the customer environment is this section over here where it says on-prem. Everything else is AWS. So the alternative idea was to kind of have all of this logic kind of in the license server and the cloud. And so the way that it was explained, the idea was explained to me was that the license server would have this logic and it would return a yes or no, like saying whether or not the feature was usable, whether or not the request would actually be accepted or denied. And then maybe with some like details about the rejection, if it was rejected. But then all of this, like this end of term, this monthly allowance, like all of that logic is now implemented inside of the license server. And I don't like that. Though I guess one thing that was one good point, and this is one thing that I like as a manager, I try very much, I think I'm pretty good at this. I try very much to not favor my ideas, unless, of course, the other ideas are completely just not great, right? But I try my best to not favor my ideas. I try my best to favor my team's ideas, other people's ideas. And I think I'm pretty good at that. But in this case, I'm having a hard time not favoring my idea. One thing that was brought up to me is that if you store everything in the license server, if you store it all in the license server, then you have a single source of truth to look at usage, which is a good point, right? Because maybe maybe in this product here, you have some dashboard that shows you all the usage for all the features, all the cloud features that you're subscribed to. So in that sense, all you have to do is just ping the license server to get that. But I'm not really sure about that either, because how hard is it to just kind of implement like a /usage API on each feature? So I'm not really sure about that either. Does the on-prem need to operate for periods of time air-gapped? Air-gap is an entirely different animal. We have air-gapped customers, but this version 1 of all of this is for it requires cloud. We are planning probably next year or in 2028. A lot of we're planning on having a new appliance, a new server essentially that customers buy for air-gapped functionality. So, does the on-prem? Okay, just keep track of clock cycles. Oh my God, what are you even talking? Oh, you are. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to do. Wait a second. Okay. I wanted to make move on a little more visible. All right. So, okay. I don't know. So what do I do? What do I do, boys? What do we do? But then again, I don't. the usage argument, I'm not sure how much weight the usage argument holds. And honestly, the argument that the other engineer was making about having it all done in license server, it didn't quite make sense to me. Like, because I brought up I brought up the point of, well, what happens if we add a new feature that has some weird licensing, and now we have to modify license server. And then he proceeded to say, well, no, you don't have to modify a license server for, I'm not even sure what he said. Like, it didn't quite make sense to me. Because like everything, he kept kind of like, from the way I understood it, he kept coming back in circles, basically saying that yes, he would have to modify. Like he was saying, no, you don't have to modify license server. All you have to do is just change license server. And I'm like, wait, what? So it didn't quite make sense to me. I think I understand the problem. You want to have one software program that is fully featured. No. I not sure. I love you, but I think you missed the bus on this one. Let's just sit this way. You came in too late. You came in a little too late. But if we do it with the license server knowing everything, I still don't know what the response looks like from the license server. Like it doesn't, like, allowed. Okay, this could be true or false. Okay, and let's say it's false. Okay, it's false. What are the you could have some like reason, like, and then you could have like this is a plain text error because Matthew's father was never proud of him. Like you could have a plain text error like that, but I don't know how much. Run equals 1. I don't know. All right. Well, you know what? You guys are of absolutely zero help. You helped me not at all. Like, you were completely useless. I mean, the only one that was useful was Henna, and maybe Not Sure, just for the humor or the entertainment aspect of it. But you guys didn't help me at all. Emotional damage. Is there a sunset that occurs if it can't get permission? No, if it can't get permission, it just displays in the it's just going to tell the user it can't get permission, right? It's just going to be like, oh no, you're not licensed to do that. Each cloud feature, all right, I'm talking out loud. Each cloud feature has a UI portion to it. So it makes a request. The request gets rejected. So you have a place in the UI to be like, permission not granted. Like, no, you can't do that. Sorry, no, it's not going to work. But it's just like, how do we make that determination? Okay, I just figured out a portion. I did just figure out something from a question I asked earlier. I asked, this is the database. This would be like a usage database, right? On the license server. Usage database on, oh, wait a minute. Oh, on license server. So, but the license server connects to a service called HubSpot. So that's how so HubSpot's going to have the license information. So, but literally, I don't think we need to do that at first, at least not for phase 1, because basically what's going to happen is a customer is going to come up and the customer is going to say, hey, I'm sending you a bunch of money for access to Cloud Feature 1. That is then an order is placed for a SKU in HubSpot, and then what'll happen is HubSpot will reach out to the license server to basically say, hey, customer Matthew purchased this SKU. The SKU is going to correspond to an end term or a monthly allowance, or it's going to It's going to correspond to disk space or something like that. Not sure, but I think for phase one, literally we go into the production database and just fucking add this manually. And yeah, it could create a problem. That's why you have an engineer do it. But it's not as though we're going to be getting hundreds or even tons of orders a day. Right? We're going to be getting maybe a handful of these a month, because these are very expensive features. So and truth be told, we only have, I don't want to say only, but we have a few hundred customers. But I mean, so that's not a lot, right? I mean, it is and it isn't, right? Like compared to Amazon, it's not a lot, but for the industry we're in, it is a lot. But for the grand scheme, but in terms of like adding data to a database, it's not a lot, right? Like if you have to manually manage orders like a dozen a month, you can do it. If you have to. It's not ideal, but I think for phase one, it's fine. You got salespeople on your side turning on these software licenses. No, what would happen is the customer sends us a bunch of money, and then a salesperson goes into HubSpot, it's like something that like those weird salespeople at your software company use. It's a CRM platform. What does CRM stand for? What does CRM stand for? I don't even know what CRM stands for. In terms of HubSpot, what does CRM stand for? Customer relationship management. Yeah, customer relations management. Yeah, no, you basically had it. Not sure. So like I said, the sales guys will enter the information into HubSpot, and then HubSpot. We already have a connection between HubSpot and a license server thing. That's not this thing, but it's a related thing. All right, my wife just got home. She brought dinner. I am starving because I did not have lunch, so I'm going to end this stream early. Thank you, Matthew, for nothing. Thank you, Razman, for nothing. Not sure. I love you. You're the best. I hope to see you guys tomorrow, 4:00, and we'll do another stream. I know I ended early last night. I'm ending early again tonight. It's because I'm lazy. Honestly, it is. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.